Greetings everyone and welcome back to some more Sub-Terrania hard mode. Alright, last time we finished up through mission 4. Today we're going to take on level 5, 6, and 7, so it's kind of a middle video. Last time we did get through level 4, which is kind of halfway through the game, level-wise, but, I mean, the last level is huge, so it kind of counts as more than one. But anyway, let's talk about level 5. So, the aliens have sabotaged the nuclear power plant, apparently. It's about to blow up. And our only option to stop it from blowing up is to blow it up, so yes, makes total sense. Of course, that's going to contaminate the atmosphere, and we have to save the miners. So, obviously, there are always miners to save. Well, not always. At least through the first 6 missions, there are. Alright, also, there is a sub-module hanging out over here, under a gigantic friggin' antlion. So, obviously we're going to drop the reactor core on it because, you know, that makes sense. So anyway, there we are. So, kill the nuclear power plants, rescue endangered workers, destroy alien life form, blah blah blah, get it all done. You know, shoot the stuff, kill the things, blow up the stuff. Alright, so they start us off and there's already some bat-like aliens flying around in a circle around the spawn point. Your best bet, I mean, if you want, is to just sit here and shoot them as they fly around until they die. You're semi-protected from the left side by that globe. But as you can see, they still hit me a few times, but whatever. Alright, so this level is very, very tentative. Also, hard mode really adds a lot more enemies to it than you would normally see. Like, these flying bugs aren't even here in normal mode. Anyway, we are going to have to carry a reactor core around the level. If you remember earlier, carrying something is a bit tricky because anytime it touches something, your entire ship explodes. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of narrow passageways here. That's going to make life pretty tricky. So we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that. Anyway, I've upgraded my weapon to blue level 2 again. Of course, we'll just keep it like that till I die. I don't think I'm ever going to get above a level 2 weapon in this game, and they go up to level 4 or 5 in some cases. If you go all the way to the last level, I'm pretty sure you can upgrade them to level 5, but otherwise they only go to 4 in the other levels. So, our first order of business is to come up here and collect the anti-shield fire. Not exactly described in the mission briefing, but it is something that you need to get. Gotta refuel here too, or else I'm going to die. Alright, so we use the anti-shield fire to kill the shield that is surrounding the nuclear power plant over here. And there we are. So let's blow this sucker up. Yeah, not a very volatile nuclear explosion, but whatever, you get the point. And that spiky thing is the reactor core. Alright, so careful. Careful. Whoa, this is, yeah, very tricky. And we're gonna get careless. Yep. Spiraled out of control. Alright, so, second time's a charm, right? So, careful. Here we go. I want to make sure that we aren't going so fast going over here, but I was just trying to conserve time and fuel, but whatever. You're not timed in these, so conserving time is not a good idea. So, reactor core acts as a weapon. We can drop it on the antlion, and that's it. We grab our sub-module, grab our miners. Aside from the tricky navigating with the reactor core hanging on the bottom of your ship, this is actually a relatively simple level. Alright, so, now that we've got level 5 out of the way, taking on level 6. Level 6 is actually the last dry level in the game. The rest of the levels are going to have water and all kinds of nasty shit in them, but we'll get to that when we get to that. This is a big-ass mining site. As you can see, there's a lot of hallways and places to get lost. We need to destroy the Guardian. Now, this Guardian is a nasty dude. Even in normal mode, he's nasty, but in hard mode, he's especially nasty, so we'll see him, though, in a few minutes. A minimum of 5 fuel miners. We're gonna have to save those guys. There's actually a few more than that in hidden areas, but saving them is optional. They have no idea where the submodule is, but I'm gonna guess that it's behind the boss. That's probably a fair guess. I mean, this is gaming in the 90s. Everything is following a relatively standard procedure, even if it's in a different package. So, objectives, Guardian Robot killed, save the miners, get the submodule. That is that, so pretty much a run-and-gun mission. That being said, it's not going to be that simple. So, destroying this barrier, it's a little bit easier if you hang out on the rails. The only problem is there are some parts with your rotation that you just can't get the whole thing, but that's okay. Down at the bottom, there's another weapons upgrade. I know I did the blue weapon all throughout my LP earlier of the normal mode, so I'm going to switch it up, do a little bit of the green weapon here, so that'll be fun. The green weapon is a little bit different. The blue weapon is the strongest of the weapon. It also fires straight. I'm sorry, I've got that wrong. The red weapon is the strongest weapon. It fires straight. The blue weapon is not as strong as the red weapon, but it fires in multiple directions. And then the green weapon is kind of the same as the blue in that it's not as strong as the red one, but it has kind of a crazy pattern that, as you can see, they zigzag around. It's kind of good for hitting large groups of enemies. Funky. This level also has 2 upgrades, so we can upgrade to level 2 right off the bat. And actually, if I had grabbed blue level 2 there, I could have grabbed blue level 3 here, but whatever. We're not gonna let that bother us. We gotta find that Guardian anyway, and here is a nice little extra life tucked away in the corner, as well as a fuel upgrade and some miners that are just hanging out here that weren't even on the mission briefing. Those guys are lucky sons of bitches. That's all I got to say about that. Alright, so we have to continue on our way, get through this wall and turret deal. There are way more turrets in hard mode than there are in normal mode. These later levels just have a ton of enemies in them, and they're much tougher than usual. I think this game could have benefited from a side thrust so that we could hang out and shoot those walls without having to keep coming back up. Whatever. I'll take what I can get. We're in a very precarious spot. Our shields are not doing too hot. I know that there is a shield right over there, down by this boss, so we're gonna try and get it without making him angry. Oh, there he is. Alright, so there's the boss. We will talk about him in just a minute, but for right now, just know that we're trying to avoid the hell out of him. Because over here, there's a nice little fuel upgrade, which you shouldn't grab before you kill the boss, by the way. I'm just doing it because I'm an idiot, and I need the fuel to kill the boss. Come on, there we go. Alright, also watch out for the green slime. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the green slime actually does damage to you. There's a lot more of it in hard mode, obviously. So, just one more thing in the game that wants to kill you. Alright, so let's take on this boss. As you can see, he's got a bunch of bullets that he fires around. There's 2 turrets on either side of his little area down here. He's got a huge fuck-off laser. He fires these other, like, alien rocket-type deals. It's just a big nasty mess. He will wreck your shit. If he touches you, I mean, as you can see, I had my shield recharged already, and it's already almost all the way red, so pretty much one more hit's gonna kill me. That being said, if you're careful, and lucky as hell like I was, he's relatively easy to take out as long as you stay above him. Just be careful though, because a lot of times he likes to jump straight up, and that'll send you flying into the ceiling, and that's not a good day for Sub-Terrania guy. So now we're going to try and get this submodule before I run out of fuel. Remember earlier when I said that when you die, all of your mission objectives stay completed, the ones that you've already done? Yeah, that's going to come in handy here, because there's no way in hell we're going to get back with the fuel that we've got. In fact, we have not enough fuel to even shoot straight up. Yep, so there we go. Anyway, that being said, the mission's done. So all we have to do is shoot up and back down. And we've completed the mission. There you go. As you can see, the idea is you need to come down there and kill the boss, save the fuel upgrade for after you kill the boss, if possible. That's really the way to do it. So anyway, the first 6 missions were collecting the 6 sub-modules to give our ship the capability of going underwater. So welcome to the water levels. These levels are, they're difficult. I'll just put it that way. So as you can see, we have a great change in atmosphere. The music is much calmer. Things are a little bit more organic, and we've got water to deal with. So water adds a nice little mechanic to the game. Now the gravity isn't trying to pull you down, it's trying to pull you up to the surface. So everything is trying to pull you to the central portion of the screen. Flying in water is a nasty, nasty thing. It is very difficult, and those enemies are strong as hell. Wow. Anyway, flying around in water, it takes a lot of fuel. It's hard to do. You have to work against the currents. There's fish that go through walls. It's just bad news all around. Also, in these levels, the gravity is a little bit looser. I know it's hard to visualize the gravity as I'm playing the game for this LP. You really kind of have to play it yourself to get a good feel for it, but just trust me when I say that. It feels looser. It's like the gravity is a little bit lighter, which would seem nice because it wants to pull you down a little bit less, but you have to be careful because just a littlest bit of thrust will send you flying right into the wall. So let's talk about the mission. The missions aren't really described anymore because we don't get the SAT scan at the beginning, so you kind of have to guess in these last few levels. What we have to do here is drain the water out just to escape. And the first thing we need to do is grab those, the anti-pressure there, which is a neat little tool that allows us to sink to the bottom of the sea. It sounds neat, but it's really very difficult to work with because it's one of your weapons, and you have to select it and then go back and select weapons to shoot these guys, and managing all that while trying to not die is a pain in the ass, as you can see. So, that being said, we have to come down here and collect the 2 bombs if I can get the goddamn things. Fucking water levels. Any of you guys who have actually played this game know exactly what I'm going through right now, if you even made it this far. Fucking fish. Alright, so there we go. Is this the first time I've died twice on a level? Yeah, I think it might be. Hopefully these 3 extra lives will be able to carry me through the end of the game. I'm gonna guess not. We might be having a massive jump cut. Anyway, now that we have the 2 bombs and the anti-pressure, all we have to do is come down here and blow the hell out of this drain down here. Careful with your aim, but good thing is you have as many 2 bombs as you need to try and hit this thing. If this fucking clam kills me, I'm gonna be so pissed off. So there you are. The water is drained, and all we have to do now is get out of the level and not die. There we go. So mission 7 is complete. I'll see you guys next time for the end of the game.